What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. So it is the end of January at the time that I'm recording this video. That means a lot of us are out of the woods. Deer season is over in a lot of places and a lot of us are thinking about getting back out on the water. We're thinking about new products, new things to try out on the water, upgrading our gear and maintaining the gear that we already have. Now in this case, I'm going to show you guys something that might be new to you and something that I've had in my arsenal for a couple of years now, but this one is just a little bit different. I'll get to that later on in the video, but yeah, it's that time of the year whenever you're getting things prepared, the ball's getting to be rolling. You know, down south in Florida, they're already doing some big tournaments. Same thing down in Texas. All the professional guys are already kind of out doing their thing. So for the rest of us that aren't fishing the pro series, pro circuits, that kind of stuff, we're getting things ready. If you've been on this channel very long, you know that I'm kind of a reel freak. I love my KastKing reels. I have for many years. I believe we're going on 5 years fishing with KastKing, I'm pretty sure, if not a little bit longer. And this is one of my favorites, one of my reels that I keep on the deck of my boat, in my rod locker, on my backpack if I'm bank beating, fishing ponds, fishing on the banks of Kentucky Lake, Pickwick, whatever it might be. I've got one of these reels with me. This is the KastKing MegaJaws. Before we hop into the kind of specs and what this reel is about, how it's different than others, let me go ahead and tell you guys that this is a very mid-range price reel. Comes in under $70 on the KastKing website. Amazon will have that linked below for you guys to see, but this is a very good mid-range reel. KastKing has something for everybody in all budgets, whether it's in the $20 price range or even the $130, $40, $50 price range. There's something for you. The MegaJaws is right in the middle, coming in at just under $70 and even less for a couple of models, which we'll get into. There are different models in this series, in this collection of reels. So let's just hop into this, guys. There's two things that people always want to know about reels. Number one, how many bearings does it have? The MegaJaws have 12. Very smooth reel, very good casting reel. The other question that everybody always wants to know is gear ratio. The cool thing about the MegaJaws is they have a color coded system. As you can see, this reel is red. You know, a red race car, red cars in general always just have this thing about speed to them. So this is the fastest one in the lineup, coming in at a 9:1 gear ratio. Next one down is a 7:1. It is black. It is black in color. You go down to your 6:1, which is a blue reel. If you guys have been on this channel very long, you've probably seen me cranking with that. I absolutely love the 6:1 gear ratio blue MegaJaws for any sort of cranking, chatterbaits, moving baits, spinner baits, stuff like that. Usually I'm throwing the blue one. And then you have the white one. It's a 5:1 gear ratio. It's a very slow reel. Takes up less inches per handle turn than this thing by a long shot or any other one in the lineup. That's one of the coolest things and one of my favorite things about the MegaJaws. They are color coded. So whenever you have a bunch of them in your rod box or on your backpack or laid out, you know the speed. You know the red one's going to be fast. You know that the black one's going to be a 7:1 gear ratio. The blue one's going to be a 6:1. The white one's going to be a 5:1. It's pretty easy. You just look at it and you know what speed it is, what gear ratio it is, how many inches per handle turn it takes up. This color-coded system makes things way easier. No longer have to sit there, open up your rod box, look down, and try to figure out what rod is what. If you have 3 or 4 of these laying in your rod box of the same color, you're going to narrow down your selection pretty quick. So to go along with these 17.6 pounds of fish stopping drag this reel has, it has some pretty stout components to go along with it as well. This is a CNC machined aluminum spool, an aluminum handle, and rubber cork grips. I absolutely love these grips. You can see the little KastKing logo on it. I absolutely love these things, man. It kind of has, I want to call it a sandpaper feel, but it gives you a little something extra to hold on to. It's not like your normal foam grip that, you know, your hand slips off of whenever it gets wet. You can actually hold on to this thing whenever it's wet. It acts kind of like a sandpaper, like it's something to grip onto, something to hold, so your hand's not going to slip off of this thing. And they just kind of look pretty neat. I actually love these a lot on all of my MegaJaws. It has 8 magnetic disc brakes on there to help make sure you don't get any overruns or backlashes. The actual knob that controls them, there's 10 settings on here to help you fine tune this reel down to a science. You can also see the little spool tensioner it has here. It's a clicking spool tensioner. so you know exactly how many turns or minimal turns you have made, trying to, you know, fine tune this reel, make it cast perfect for you. That's pretty neat. I don't like the ones that don't make a noise. I like to be able to hear exactly how much I'm moving this tensioner every time I move it. There's a little drain kind of right by the reel handle in case you get some water and whatnot in here. You know, sometimes on those rainy days, or if your hand gets really wet from putting fish back in the water, you're going to get raw water in your reel. You want that to be able to drain out, so they made a little port for that. Now on the inside right there, there's another little port right there, and that is for you to put your oil in, your grease in, to make sure that this reel stays smooth all season long. You don't have to stop and take all your reels apart mid-season once again and oil them up. In this case, you can do it right here with this little port that's built into this reel. That makes things way more simpler. You don't have to sit there for 5-10 minutes taking apart a reel, making sure you got it all nice and lubed up and ready to go. There's actually a port on this reel for it. So if you guys are looking for a good mid-range reel, something in that $70 mark, I highly suggest the KastKing MegaJaws. You've got the different gear ratios, you've got the different colors of the reels to help you figure out which gear ratio, which rod you're throwing it on, and that really just simplifies things. This is a good all-around reel. If I was fishing the pro circuits, I wouldn't mind using this thing, and if I was just a weekend angler, I'm still going to use this thing. I mean, it's just a good all-around reel. It doesn't break the bank by any means. It's under $70. It looks good, it feels good in the hand, and it casts like a dream. What else could you ask for? That's all I got for this video, guys. I just wanted to show you one of my favorite reels that I fish with from year to year. I've used this reel for a couple of years. Like I said, this is the 9-to-1 gear ratio. I'm going to be using this for, you know, my jig fishing, my flipping, my pitching, that kind of stuff this year, which means I'm going to be putting this thing through the ringer, not just this year, but for years to come. These things can take a beating. I've been beating on them for 2 years now, and all the other ones I've got show no signs of giving up, and I know that this one won't either. I want to thank you guys for watching. I'll see you right here in the next one. Hopefully we'll be on the water using this or using some other KastKing product, catching some fish. I'll see you next time.